Finished training for the day? Time to fight post-workout fatigue with Core Power Protein Shakes. They're packed with 26 grams of high-quality protein to build muscle and electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to help your body replenish, rebuild, and repair post-workout so you can power on to the next one. Champion your recovery with Core Power. Visit corepower.com to learn more.
Hello, everyone. Before we dive into today's episode, I wanted to remind you that my book, Drummers on Drumming, is available now on Amazon as both a paperback and an ebook. Based on the Big Fat Five segment of this podcast, where I sit down with my favorite drummers to discuss the 5 records and stories that shaped their approach to the instrument, this book is packed with insights from the drummers who redefined how we think about the modern drum set. You can grab your copy now by checking the link in this episode's show notes or simply searching Drummers on Drumming on Amazon. So thank you for all the support, and now let's get into the show. What is up? Welcome back to Drummers on Drumming, a podcast powered by Big Fat Snare Drum. My name is Ben Hilzinger, and I'm back with another installment of the Drum Panel, and it's the OG crew. We have me, Eric Urrea, my lovely co-host, and the owner and founder of Big Fat Snare Drum, Kris Mazzarisi. We just catch up. It's been a while. I talk to Kris every day, but Eric's been traveling a lot. The bulk of the conversation is talking about identity and image and just how you portray yourself. And honestly, even if you don't want to worry about that, you kind of have to if you want to be a professional musician. I guess you don't have to, but we make some compelling arguments on both sides. And the fun thing about this conversation is that Kris had to go pick up his daughter from school in the middle of our conversation. So I seamlessly edited it out to where you can't hear when he's gone, but he just stops talking for a little bit and then he comes back. So I hope you enjoy it, and let's dissect our neuroses together. Cheers. What's the weirdest gig you guys have played?
Oh my God.
I know right away if you want to go first. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I probably have 2. I was in a band called Bandcamp, like in the early 2000s, like a pop punk band. You know, just did the touring thing, and we were an East Coast band, so we would just do kind of the loop of Illinois, Ohio, all those places, go down south. You know, being a New York band, pretty lucky, pretty fortunate. Eric kind of has the same kind of thing too, where you can hit multiple states very easily, being a Midwest. Mm-hmm. West Coast band's definitely a lot harder. It's a lot harder to do it. So very fortunate to be an East Coast band located in Long Island. You can hit everything in a day. I don't remember exactly where we were, but we definitely played some like VFW hall show, like a punk rock show, and the show was great. It was super cool. And then as we were packing up, we kind of realized the band after us was a Nazi band, like a punk Nazi band. And at the time, all 4 of us in the band, when I was in Bandcamp, were all Jewish. And I was like, we should probably pack up and get out of here pretty quick, because it was like, we realized that the band after us was like a neo-Nazi band, and I think the band after that was a neo-Nazi band. So I was like, we should probably leave. There was that, and then...
Did they promote themselves as a neo-Nazi band? Like, how is that a thing?
That's crazy.
I don't remember how we knew they were, but it might have been like, when we played, it was kind of younger kids there, and everything seemed chill, and then the band came in kind of with their crowd. That might have been the red flag, and we're just kind of looking around and kind of got the vibe of like, these dudes are definitely neo-Nazi punk stuff, and we're like, okay, it's time to leave.
They're like, can we use your kit?
God.
Yeah, I'm not going to make any jokes. I have a couple in my brain I'm not going to say.
Don't say it.
No, definitely not. And another time we played, we had like a small-time booking agent at the time trying to help us book bands, and he's like, we're going to book this like gig as like a filler thing, like, in between, like a little routing gig. And it was like I think it was in down south, and it was like a straight up cowboy bar. Like, we were setting up and we're like, we're going to get murdered. They're going to throw chairs at us. It's going to be so bad. We were like punk rock kids with like eyeliner and tight pants, and like, they're going to hate us. And we played this show, and like, it just like went off. They loved us. We like sold out of every piece of merch that night that we had. It was absolutely insane. It was this crazy cowboy bar.
Sounds like a Disney movie.
It was the Princess Diaries in a cowboy bar.
Yeah. What about you, Eric? What about you, Eric?
Hey,
I haven't said that in so long.
I know. Didn't I miss that?
I miss saying it.
This is a tough one. I played a gig like a couple weeks ago. It's this like kind of pop punk function type band that a buddy of mine put together, and he asked me to play drums for it. And they booked us at like some kind of golf course charity event, and the demographic was like nobody was there that was under like 60. And we've got this set list.
Who booked this again?
Dude, I have no idea whose idea.
Yeah.
It was like pretty obvious that like our set list was it's like Blink 182 and Green Day and just like Lit and Yellow Card. And then we're like setting up and it's in like a, banquet hall and everyone's dressed in suits and, there's like crystal chandeliers and we're just like, okay, I guess we're going to launch into all the small things. It was pretty brutal.
And it was the best show you've ever played.
It was the best show I've ever played. They were crowd surfing.
No, mine isn't as, the first one that comes to my head isn't as crazy. It's just Cannons played a show a year and a half ago at the top of, maybe it was Vail. It was in the summertime. It was one of the mountains, like the ski resorts up there in Colorado. And we got up there and we were playing on Bark. It was this radio thing that was kind of like undersold, like on purpose, like this little, there was like a few hundred people there. So we played on Bark. My drums were literally like my hi-hat was here and my floor tom was like at this angle, and it was just so ridiculous. You had to take a gondola to get up there. So we had to like have our gear, put it in the gondola, and it was
God.
quite the fun ordeal.
Wild.
Granted, we backlined a lot of the stuff. Like my drums didn't have to be, but it was like all of our SKB cases and like 15 Pelicans, whatever. It started raining right after we stopped playing, so I had to help the backline person because it was a nice Ludwig. I was like, dude, I got you. So we like rushed to put it all back in the cases, and then because it's a gondola, they wouldn't let us come back down until the lightning hadn't shown for 20 minutes, whatever. And so we played the show on Bark and then just hung out with the crowd for like I think it was like 3 hours till we were able to come back down, and we had to drive all the way back to Denver that night to take a flight the early morning. So we were just like, whatever. But you know what? I'm going to incorporate the Instagram now. I will upload, people listening, I will upload on the way back down. There was a massive rainbow and we saw a bear, and it was actually one of the coolest things. We saw the end of the rainbow. We saw like from end to end. It was crazy. So if people go on the Instagram, I will upload a video and a photo from that gondola ride back down. But my God, it was the weirdest show.
This sounds right up my alley. That's the kind of stuff I want to do. I'm not even joking. I want to
We did make the best of it.
Want to do that.
Like when we got up the gondola and they showed us the stage, we were just like, what the hell? But I think we all collectively were just like, let's just make it a fun day. And we did.
Yeah. There's these like mythical shows that have been happening the past couple years in Chicago on the river. So there's like this cement pylon in the middle of the river that was probably like the support beam for a bridge, and this dude has been doing shows and like booking like 3-band bills to go play in the middle of the river on this pylon, and they just like ferry everyone's equipment out to the middle of the river, and then everyone lines up on the banks to like watch the show. It's so sick.
That is awesome.
I know. I'm
How
dying
do they get
to
power
play
out
it.
there?
I have no clue. But I want to play it so bad.
Is there like a ferry behind the boat that's like a generator boat, or like how?
I think they stick a little generator on the platform, but it's just
So every show is like the band's looks like they're playing, but just
yeah, they're just
the whole
hearing
time.
like the rumbling of the engine.
Wow,
That'll be the next stage at Lollapalooza next year. The ferry stage.
the ferry stage.
The ferry stage, Ferry Peril.
There was it's not around anymore, but it was a place in La Crosse, Wisconsin called the Warehouse. Do you know that place, Eric?
Oh yes, that had the nightmare load in, right?
Yeah, it's like something crazy, like 63 stairs. It was a really cool vibe because the owner, he did it for the community. The show was free for the kids, and like they would book a million bands. They would try their best to help you, but I remember like the band I was in, we had everything in flight cases, and we had the notorious 8x10 Ampeg in a flight case, and
Same.
we'd bring that thing up 60. It was like 63 stairs or something crazy, and they weren't even, and it like winded, and it was just a weird gig. And you get up top, and there'd be no air conditioning, and the windows would be all open, and it was just an old like wood building that the downstairs was I think like a horse barn, and upstairs is where they repaired the horseshoes. I don't know. It was something horse related.
I had the exact same experience, except it was winter and there was no heat, so it was just brutally cold.
The Poison Room. Do you know that place in like Columbus?
I don't know the Poison Room
It
now.
was Columbus. It's probably not around anymore, but I played that place a couple of times, and it was actually like, I think it was like snowing inside the venue. There was like no heat and the windows were all frozen because the heat broke, and the venue had a pole right in the middle of the stage, like literally in the middle of the stage. Yeah. So.
All right, what's the best live show you've ever seen, and what made it unforgettable? I have a feeling you're going to say the most recent Nine Inch Nails show you just saw.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm not even going to lie. That show was transcendent. They just announced their second leg, and I'm planning out how many shows I'm going to go to.
Would you go to 4?
It'll probably be like 2. I would go to 4 if my bank account could handle it. But
Yeah.
but no, I mean, in fairness, I just was watching this last tour and was just like, I don't know how this isn't the greatest live band touring right now. It was nuts. But I'm biased. It's my favorite band, so there's that.
Who do you think, Ilan or Josh?
I'm a Josh guy all day. I will say, for what it's worth, that I do like Ilan Rubin's drumming on Perfect Drug better than Josh's, but it's Josh Freese for me all day.
You heard it here. This is huge.
I know. That hurts to say. I can't.
I was going to say, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm going to have to take a breather, guys.
100%.
Thanks for your support. But no, I'm a Josh guy through and through. But actually, ironically, one of the other ones that comes to mind is Foo Fighters at Lollapalooza in 2011. I was like right off the rail, and it was pouring rain. Absolute downpour. And it started pouring like during My Hero. It was like comically cheesy. I just remember Dave Grohl at the front of the stage, like soaking wet, and everyone was just in a place of just like, screw it. This is the greatest moment of our lives.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unreal.
The accent's on fighters, by the way.
Oh, Foo Fighters. Sorry.
Foo Fighters. Chris, what about you? I have a feeling it's crazy that maybe it'll also involve a Dave Grohl, but is it when you saw Nirvana and you got the drumstick?
Probably. I was really fortunate growing up. My parents are pretty young. I mean, I'm old now, so my parents are old, but when I was young, my parents were really young. So I think my mom had me when she was 20. So they just dragged me to a million places when I was a kid. And I saw some pretty iconic tours growing up. Honestly, I think one that really stuck in my brain, this is insane that I actually went to it, was at Madison Square Garden. I sat second row for Purple Rain.
Wow.
Yeah. I saw Prince at Madison Square Garden. I saw Springsteen on the Born in the USA tour. I saw Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet tour. Like, those are all shows that I can still remember, even though they were, probably 35 years ago, more than that, actually, right? So I guess Born in the USA was probably 40 years ago. My parents were just Prince fans. I knew the Purple Rain record just from it being played in my house and being played on the radio and in the car and stuff. But I still have vivid memories of what the tour looked like. I remember him playing drums. I remember him playing guitar, a bunch of woodwind instruments, and I remember him having the assless pants. I don't know how old I was, but I also remember it was like a very sexual show, like a lot of scantily clad dancers and like a lot of weird, almost like weird sexual acts going on the stage. And I was just like, what is this? It was just,
I feel weird.
But yeah, maybe I would say maybe my all-time concert growing up, and probably the most influential was seeing Nirvana on the In Utero tour. It was pretty insane.
Wow.
And getting to meet the band and all that stuff. So,
wow.
Mine would be probably not even for the theatrics or the actual production in any form. I guess it was just the Kills in 2017, I want to say, maybe 18, in LA at the Regent, actually. And they've been one of my favorite bands for a long time, just because Jamie and Allison are, the way they interact on stage, it's this like primal thing they do, and it's so fun to watch. They really get into every song. So they were on point that night, but they also started one song incorrectly, and like she was, because they're a machine, like a drum machine based band, if people don't know. And so one of the songs, obviously some of their stuff's on track, so they started it, and she like started to sing or she started the verse like maybe like a measure late or something, and so it went to the pre-chorus so she stopped the song, and Jamie went on the microphone being like, I think I triggered it wrong, and she's like, no Jamie, that was on me. And it was like for them to both, like, I think Jamie knew he was not wrong, but he just said it to make like his bandmate not look bad. And it was like this moment that like actually made the show. I mean, I overthink everything, but maybe no one else notices, but I was like, oh fuck yeah, dude, they love each other. That was so fucking cool to watch their relationship in all those forms, like the more rock star version of it, and then like the human to human love each other thing. It was cool.
Those are for sure the best moments, man. I remember seeing Weezer. Patrick's a drummer, right?
Yeah, when Josh was playing drums?
Well, it was right after Josh was playing drums. So Patrick had come back to playing drums.
Okay.
And they played like this crazy discography set where they were like going through the timeline of the band, and they played the Blue album in full. But it was like there was so many mistakes, and it was just sloppy, but in the most charming way, where it just felt like, oh, I'm like watching this band as kids in their garage right now.
Yeah.
And I'm not even like a
awesome.
Weezer fan, but or like I'm not a Weezer fan, but
I know what you mean.
But it was just like I was like, this is just, it's great because I'm relating to this on such a human level while they're just being absolute rock stars.
Yeah, and with Rivers and all and that whole crew, it's like, you know, I would never see them fuck up to the point where I'm like, wow, they're not even good.
Yeah.
Wish you could become a morning person? You know the type, up before the sun, early morning runs, first one to the office with donuts and a smile. How do they do it? Easy. With the new Galaxy Watch 8, sleep tracking and personalized insights from Samsung Health help you improve so you can wake up to a whole new you. One who, dare I say it, skips the snooze? It's possible. Train your sleep with Galaxy Watch 8. Learn more at Samsung.com. Requires compatible Samsung Galaxy phone, Samsung Health app, and Samsung account.
Big news. Sephora is now on Uber Eats. So if you find yourself facing a beauty emergency, like needing a last-minute gift, or you're just out of your favorite mascara, again, don't panic. We got you. Order now and get $10 off on Sephora orders of $50 or more on the Uber Eats app. Order now. Offer ends October 30th. One order per customer. Additional terms apply. See app for availability. Delivery fees may apply.
I don't know if I have an answer for this. I mean, my first one is to say my backpack, but what's a piece of non-music related gear that saved your life on tour?
Oh, dude. I mean, yeah, it would be my backpack. Yeah. Totally.
Well, I got a new one. Honestly, I got a new one from Amazon that was I got it right before the Palms tour. It's just the perfect backpack, and I got it for $30. And I didn't realize how much, because the one I had right before this, it was designed for camera equipment. I got it at Goodwill. And It was just, you had to take off a whole strap to even, there's no way to just like a quick zip, I'm there.
Sure.
And I didn't realize how having an easily accessible zipper pouch in the front of a backpack probably adds 30% more happiness to my overall tour.
I think genuinely just being organized on tour is the thing that like saves my life. Because if my suitcase is a mess, if my backpack's a mess, my brain is a mess. So having a nice backpack to just kind of keep everything situated is like, that's the move. Cannot recommend it enough.
Do you use dividers? Like you have your, I think Amazon has them.
Yeah.
But they're like little
like
dividers.
The packing cube thingies.
Packing cubes, yes.
Yeah. I do usually for like specifically the workout equipment or workout clothes.
You carry your cable machine?
Yeah. Just No, but I wear a lot of button-ups on stage because I'm a psychopath, and those do not do well in the packing cubes. So, yeah.
So what is that? What is behind that? Everyone has a code. I respect it, but what is your button-up vibe?
I don't know why the button-ups. I couldn't tell you, to be honest. Here's the thing is I've always
That's
felt
your homework
like
for next drum panel. You need to tell, because now people, I guarantee, are like, what is up with Eric now?
my rule that I would always tell students is never wear shorts on stage. That's a cardinal sin in my book. Mm-hmm. I think it kind of stemmed from that. My band was always like specific about what we wore because we felt like it was important that when we walked into a venue, people would go, that's the band. They're not just people in the crowd. So I thought that separation was really important. So I guess that's generally why the button up. But I mean, I should rock a Henley or something every now and then. Switch it up.
So if I were to go on your Instagram,
yeah,
how far would I have to scroll until I saw a T-shirt?
Not that far, because La Armada, the hardcore band I play for, they're like, you gotta chill with the button up, students. you look too nice.
It was a discussion. It was an actual discussion.
I mean, it sort of, yeah, it's been brought up. The other day they said we need you to look more urban, less Keith Urban. And that killed me.
Wow. Well, you know what? Constructive criticism means they want you to get better.
That's
They
right.
love you.
That's right.
No, I definitely have a vibe. I mean, with the palms, I think it was also a button-up.
Yeah.
I was just going off of the previous drummer. He always had these really cool, not bowling shirts, but like, cool guy, short sleeve, button up things.
Yeah.
And so I think just without really talking to them about it, it was just kind of like assumed that in my role, that's what it was. Which, I mean, it does makes you feel like you're getting in the character, which is cool.
Yeah,
And then
I think
obviously
that's
with cannons, sequins and sparkles. So
I want to do that at a hardcore show. That's what I.
I mean, what's stopping you? Oh, I guess the band.
Yeah, the band. Yeah.
Just go to a hardcore show dressed like that.
It was funny because I have been kind of low key pushing back. I was like, that dude from Knock Loose, he's on stage in a dress. Looks great.
Does look great.
Yeah, he does look great.
Well, no. This needs to be a long game for you. You actually need to have part of your job now is 2 nights a week you go to hardcore shows wearing button-ups and
Yes.
make your presence known to look over the crowd, be like, that's probably the alpha, and go make friends with them, infiltrate them the whole time wearing a button-up. They get to like you, and then maybe, I'll be honest, maybe 6 months from now, the alpha's like, you know what? I'm gonna wear a button up, and he starts wearing button-ups, and then it gets back to the bands with like, dude, button-ups are actually pretty cool in hardcore.
Infiltrate it from within. I see. Yeah, I'm here for it.
I'm going to be coming to Chicago a few times in the next few months, so I can help you. Have a night off. I'll go with you. I'll wear the dress with the collar.
I mean, I don't know. You don't have to go that far if you don't want to. But I have a question for you on traveling. What do you do with your cymbals when you fly? Do you fly with cymbals, first of all?
Ugh, no.
No?
I don't.
Okay.
When I'm flying, usually it's a backline situation to where a lot of times it's included in the backline cost, so it would be more expensive to fly with my cymbals, and also why would I hit my cymbals and shorten their life if I can just play a brand new K-Light hi-hat, So I definitely have on my rider, I'm pretty specific on this is what I want. If not, here are 2 things that I'll accept as well. But when I do, if we ever have to, we're flying to a place where it's like you have to bring your breakables, I would just use my SKB cymbal case and check it.
Yeah.
But what about you?
The reason I bring this up is because I posted a picture of me at the gate with my cymbal case, the SKB rolling case. But I got like a ton of messages from people being like, how did you do that? I've done it every time. I just walk through security with my cymbal case, and sometimes it fits through the machine, and if it doesn't, they'll open it up and like look inside, and they'll see its symbols. And
They never say, oh, you got to take this to oversize? Never once?
usually what'll happen, I'd say 70% of the time, maybe 80% of the time, I'll get to the gate, and then they'll be like, you got to check that, and then they check it for free because it's an instrument. And even like internationally, like I didn't pay for my cymbals in Colombia. In the UK, same thing. I just bring it to the gate, and then I'll gate check it there. And a few times I've even gotten lucky where they'll do it like a stroller or like a wheelchair, where they'll do gate delivery.
I wish they'd always do one or the other, because it's always like whenever I do
I
gate
know.
check, I'm always like at baggage claim, and I'm like, oh shit, was I supposed to? And then it'll show up. I'm like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
It's like ultimately, I'd rather not have to walk through the airport from terminal A65 all the way to baggage claim with my case. But
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, don't get me wrong, it's a hassle to carry the cymbals all the way to the gate,
Yeah.
but I've just been so paranoid about it. And it's nice to also not have to pay for it. So,
yeah, because cymbals don't weigh not a lot
no, they definitely, they don't not unweigh a lot
more.
more.
Is good taste something you're born with or something you can develop?
I think it's got to be developed. I mean, you probably pick it up from your parents if you're super lucky, and then beyond that, your friends. And the flip side is like, who defines what good taste is?
Well, I kind of go back and forth on this because, well, to answer your question, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
first, in order to answer this, we have to have an agreed upon definition of what it is, which I don't know if we, can have one.
You
But-
know what? Can I interject really
Please.
quick? I'm gonna stroke your ego a little bit. I have to say, I know you're super paranoid about you feeling like you don't have good taste, and I just have to say, sometimes I get really intimidated by you with your taste, because you'll come in and talk about Levon Helm, and Not gonna lie, I was not familiar with Levon before you. So,
And now are you a fan?
I mean, yeah. I mean, dude, you posted that video like a few weeks ago, and I watched
Life
it
is a
like
Carnival.
37 times. It was insane. Because I listen to, shamelessly, will catch myself listening to like pop music almost all day. You know, I try to stay pretty current, and then there's just this black hole of the band and bands of that kind of era and ilk that are just a huge blind spot for me. So I'm always really intimidated.
Yeah, well, I guess, I mean, this podcast has helped a lot, you know,
Sure.
because it's not like I'm Mr. He can hear a song and be like, oh, that's amazing, and then find out later, oh, it's also a famous song that drummers love. You know, it's like I'm told by so many people, listen to this, and like, oh, shit. So at the end of the day, people listening, I'm just the first listener of every episode. I'm the initial one, and then I edit it and then give it to you guys. So I attribute a lot of any taste I've had, which I guess does go back to you can develop it. But I guess when it comes to, I was diagnosed with ADHD, and I've done a lot of research on just the way my brain works and how I experience the world. And it's just made me realize how many different kinds of ways brains work. There is no normal. It's ridiculous. And your brain works a certain way, and certain things turn you on. I mean, in like, you know, the general sense, certain things pique your interest, I guess, in certain ways. And so people with good taste, I'm curious if, like, from that perspective, there are some people that, let's just go like style, like visual, like clothes and stuff and fashion. There are some people that their brains are wired to really acknowledge different color patterns, and they're like, oh, that's pleasing. I need to double down on that, because that's a big thing for me. Fashion is something that I kind of do as a hobby. Meaning, like, I mean, I love to go on Depop and just try things out and colors and different cuts and stuff. It's fun. I really enjoy that. And then I really respect people that everything they choose is just like, I don't know why, but this just works immediately. Is it a color pattern? Is it a silhouette thing? And some people's brains, they can immediately do that. And so it's like the people that have good taste in fashion, that's just their brain. That's one perspective. They can do that. Or they just have an exceptional ability to, if they like something, they in that moment go, what do I like about it? I need to remember this. And that's a priority for them mentally more. Same with people that like music. They're like, okay, there's something about this drum sound, and then they'll remember it or write it down, and then they can go investigate more of that. And then over time, they're the person that, whenever they show me these songs, they have really good drum sounds, you know, because they just acknowledged, oh, this is the first thing that I mean, maybe this is a very basic thing to understand, but I think a lot of people that could have better taste, they just don't kind of pause the world when something really reaches them in a certain way and then evaluate it almost immediately, you know? Sure.
I think it kind of goes with the idea of it all being something that you learn, right? It's even something that you practice, right? Like fashion, I don't think anyone is like born with a fashion sense. You kind of develop it, and there's probably a phase where you're like terrible. I guess it's probably like, I feel like I live and die by like the concept of the Dunning-Kruger curve. It's like the less that you know about a subject, the more you think you know, and then the more you learn, like you become aware, and then you think you know less, like especially when you feel self-conscious about a thing. Like I feel like I'm trying to be more aware of fashion, and I'm just like in a constant state of paranoia. I'm just like, oh man, I don't know what I'm doing,
which is weirdly the fun of it. I don't mind us talking about this, because I actually think fashion is a big part of what we do, you know, and your image. And so I think that's why I've tried to create a voice. If people were to, well, it's funny. One of my students, shout out Jorge, you're probably listening. He got me one of the, I'm going to pick it up actually. You wait right here, Eric.
Okay. All right. This is my podcast now. I can do whatever I want. Whoa, dude.
So for people listening, I should start doing this. We should start doing this more to get people to actually go on our Instagram, which I don't know what the goal of that is, but it's, you know, there's fun clips. So everyone go follow Drummers on Drumming Instagram, but I'll put a photo of this as well. But the only thing Jorge missed, so people that are just listening, he made a Funko of me, like the Pop Yourself, where you can make a little action figure. And so he made it with my shoes, drumsticks, like my kind of high-waisted pants, beard and stuff. Like I definitely have a style for sure. But
You got a silhouette, man.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty sweet.
It was fun to know, like, oh, I have a vibe, you know?
Yeah.
But what do you think people, if they were to make a Funko Pop Yourself, what would they do?
This is genuinely something that I think about a lot, because I think in a lot of ways it does impact the type of gigs that I get.
Sure.
I mean that absolutely literally, you know? To be totally transparent, I'm in like panic mode because I'm a little bit chubbier than I'd like to be right now. So I'm like, oh God, I gotta hit the gym. I've been really self-conscious about like not having tattoos, and I want to get some tattoos soon.
What would you get?
I don't know. I've been itching to get a Gila monster on my forearm. If you don't know what that is, it's like a giant lizard that lives in Arizona, which is where I was born. It's one of the only venomous lizards in the world. But they're these really cool, like huge chunky lizards that are like spectacled, but
Is that what you feel like inside?
Yeah, that's me. You know, it sleeps like 11 months out of the year.
That sounds like me.
Yeah. No, I mean, the only reason I haven't done it, sorry, this is a random sidebar, but it's because I can't get a Gila monster tattoo in Chicago. Everyone's going to be like, what the hell is that? So I got to go to Arizona to get it. But no, point being, though, is I think having a silhouette is an important thing, even as a session player. I'm so inspired by, you guys even talked about it with Gunner recently. I'm so inspired by Tosh the drummer, playing with Lady Gaga. Mm-hmm. It's crazy that no one has really mentioned the fact that Lady Gaga is like, oh, you're going to play with your shirt off? Totally cool. That's amazing. If you really step back and think about it, to be a session player and to have your own unique identity and your own thing playing with a shirt off, and the artist who hires you, that's totally not their vibe. Like, Lady Gaga is about more clothes than less clothes.
Or clothes made of meat or...
Yeah, right. So for her to hire him, not only to hire him, but to hire him as himself and let him be himself is like such a statement for how important your image is as a player.
I love that. I 100% agree. There's one thing I'll add. I did notice, I don't think he officially... Maybe this had nothing to do with the Lady Gaga gig, but I think it did, is he used to have fuck right here where my tattoo is. And I'm pretty sure, and now I think it's a black flag or the 4 little like vertical pillars.
Yeah. But honestly, though, like, again, it's a smart play. Because, if you're going to play SNL and your thing is to play with your shirt off, you also probably shouldn't have the F word tattooed on your shirt, whether it's with Lady Gaga or whoever. But that's an interesting observation. I didn't even realize that.
I 100% agree, though. I mean, and people that are listening that hate fashion and they think it's like, or just aesthetics in general are just the bane of any, like, it's all about the music, man. Dude, hey, I feel you. But think of your favorite musician right now. I mean, there's going to be some outliers, whatever. But most of the time, if I said draw that musician, you'd know what to draw for their clothes.
I feel like I've gotten in the weeds about this in a variety of different ways. Like, I get criticized a lot for doing stick tricks on stage and hitting the drums hard. Whoa. And what I always come back to is like, yeah, but the way that you present yourself matters. You think about what you're going to wear on stage for any gig. That presentation is important. It's an extension of your art. It's an extension of your personality. Yes, stick tricks don't record well, the famous saying, but it's your performance matters. You don't have to do stick tricks, of course, but you should also not look bored when you play the drums. You should be having fun. I mean, even going back to like studying classical music in college, they'd be like, you should lift the tambourine or triangle up high so the audience can see it. It's the sight association is important. It's funny that like the criticism on doing big stick heights or stick tricks or playing a guitar behind your head is always like, oh, you're showing off. And then I'm always like, yeah, but what do you think we're doing here? That's where there's 5 of us on stage and we're the only ones facing the opposite direction. Like, we're 8 foot in the air. What do you think the purpose of this is?
I have a literal spotlight on me.
Yeah. Nobody else in the room is lit up except for us. I don't know what you think our job description is.
What do you think, Kris? I know, and I think out of the three of us here, Kris has the most deliberate, not silhouette, but like the aesthetics of what you do live.
I purposely try to gauge my show on how much robot I could do during the show, play like a robot. And I think I've spoken about this before on some version of this podcast. I think it actually, in a weird way, by doing the showy stuff, kind of gets me away from just being so focused on the click and so focused on what song's going to be next. And it's almost like a hard reset in my brain where I'm kind of relaxed. I almost equate it to, I don't know if you guys have ever done this before, where you're playing a song or trying to learn a song or you're trying to learn a part and you're just not getting it. And I do like this weird thing where I'll just put a drum key in my hand and play like with a stick with a drum key in my hand. And I'm more focused about like not dropping the drum key and being like uncomfortable to try to like get a feel. And I almost think like being kind of showy live kind of takes me out of just, oh my God, that last snare hit wasn't exactly on the click. Kind of have more fun with it. And, you know, it actually, I do get a kick out of the audience looking back and like kind of like nudging. You'll see somebody in the back like nudging when and I'm, you know, doing the extra robot, and then his buddy looks and they start laughing and the phones go out, and, you know, it's fun. On the flip side of that, we were lucky enough to do Mazzarisi, I guess, in February, and they've been rolling it out. And my daughter's piano teacher saw that performance, and he's like, man, he's like, I watched the performance and it was really great. And he's like, oh, a lot of the comments were about you. And he's like, that was so cool to see. And I actually didn't look at the comments and all the comments. They were people being nice, but they just like, man, that drummer does not want to be here.
Have you seen the video, Eric?
No, I don't. I totally missed this. I had no idea.
We did a Deftones song, and
I did see that. Yeah.
And then we did a Britney Spears song too. We did, I guess, Toxic. I don't thrive in those kind of situations where it's just like a live recording and they just throw stuff at you on the spot, and you gotta improvise fills and kind of remember what you played, and you're gonna do multiple takes, and there's cameras everywhere, and so I didn't sleep the night before at all. I was so freaked out.
But the thing is, you don't look bad. I want you to know that
I look so bad. My wife ordered eye patches. She just ordered eye patches because I look so tired and so bad. She's like, you can never do that again and look that tired. I'm like, you're right. You're not wrong.
Yeah, that's not the part that, like, I don't think you look like unhealthily tired. It was just, you look just like there's no emotion in your face.
I was so nervous.
Really? You sounded great in both of them.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, they, I mean, to toot our own horns here, but we did the Deftones one, and I think the whole thing of Mazzarisi, people not familiar with it, is they take a band and they kind of throw something completely left field to you, like an artist or a song, and you have to kind of make it your own. And there's really not per se like a time limit on it, how much you could do with the song. But we did it so fast. They said we were one of the fastest bands to ever do it on Mazzarisi. There was like one jazz band, I think, that they said were faster than us, but that they wound up giving us a second song to do, which most bands don't get a second song. But we did it so fast, and I still think I was really lucky that we got a Deftones song, because I kind of knew it. The other two band members of my band didn't know the song, so they kind of let us explore
you had a
that.
feature when you said like, "Oh, I know this song." They like cut the camera to you, and you were very excited in that moment. You looked like you really wanted to be there.
I mean, I wanted to be there. Actually, I was actually super like nerding out with all the Drumeo. They were very, very, very kind people up there in Canada. They showed all the studios, and they like, oh, Mike Portnoy had his kid here the other day, and it was really cool to see the whole complex and see the drum closet with all the stuff that they have. But yeah, I was mesmerized by the whole experience, and also very nervous. And to go back to the original question you guys were talking about is, yeah, my aesthetic was not good. The drums look cool. My aesthetic was not good.
When you do stuff like that, when you become the character or you lean into something, is that you being the character, or is that giving you the ability to be in the moment and actually be more yourself? But it has to be behind the facade of this character I'm playing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. I think it might be a little bit of both, to be honest. I think there's nights where I'm just having such a good time that it comes naturally and I'm having a lot of fun. And then it also becomes like kind of a mental cue for me, like, okay, maybe I'm not having the best part of the song. The beginning of the song is like maybe not going the best for me. And then I know like, oh, okay, I'm going to do something funny, a minute in from now. And I'm like, okay, let's remember that part. I'm going to have some fun when that part comes up. So it's almost like a crutch in a weird way. I don't know. I mean, it's not like I do it every song, but...
Well, no, I love that. It's almost like the image of before every show, there's like 4 or 5 different life raft directions you can go. And you know, like if things are going wrong, like I'll be the robot, or I'll do something that'll make Matt laugh if like he's having a bad time or something. Like there's always different things. Like if the show goes wrong, it's kind of, maybe it is up to the drummer sometimes to be like, we got to make sure that everyone's, come on guys, energy up, let's have a good time.
Yeah. One of the artists that I played for a long time ago, he said something that still kind of sticks in my brain, that like if you're in a song and you make a mistake, that you have to just kind of sit back, take a deep breath, and just think of like a hard reset while you're playing the song. And be like, okay, there's a chorus coming up now. I'm going to hard reset. It's essentially a new song at this point. I'm going to start from the beginning and just start playing it again. And you could do that multiple times within a set, within a song. And I definitely still do that, you know. I do weird things too where I'll uncomfortably sit on the seat. Like I'll just kind of be like hanging off the edge, just kind of focusing on that to not like fall off or get weird balance. And I'll readjust posture and channel Dave Eatlich during the show and not bury the beater, and just kind of weird tactics to keep going.
I really liked, was it Sarab that said recently that music is the language that he speaks best? I thought that was a super interesting way to phrase that, where it's like, I feel like when I'm on stage, it's like I am at my most comfortable in a lot of ways. So no, I don't feel like doing the stick trick stuff is a way to kind of get me to snap out of it. I'm just having fun. It's kind of, I'm just
Golden
like having a conversation.
It checks out.
It is something that I've noticed recently playing with the hardcore band. It's been challenging because I really like similar to Kris, I really enjoy putting humor into my playing, and it doesn't always fit in a super politically charged, angry, hardcore setting. It's been an interesting challenge to like figure out what my normal voice is when I'm playing this really high intensity aggressive thing, which I am not an aggressive person by any means. It's not that I'm uncomfortable playing the music. I love being challenged technically. That's like one of my favorite things to be, is in a place where I'm really challenged technically. That's great. And I love hitting hard. I just mean it in the sense that I'm not generally an angry person. I don't like go around yelling at people in my daily life.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like goofy, happy idiot. So it does feel like it's a little bit strange to kind of have to put on the face of like, the song is angry. I can't be like, like in the back of the band.
The song about suicide and you're just like flipping your sticks.
Yeah, exactly. There is some sort of a persona aspect to, the way that you present yourself, for sure. Ultimately, though, I think it's more of an extension of my personality than it is like I'm doing a bit or a character.
And that's the show. If you're listening on a platform that allows ratings and reviews, do that. It helps more people find the show, so it'll get bigger and better, and hopefully I'll have a chance to sell out one day. But you'll be an OG listener that can brag to all your friends. Anyways, why don't you go and check us out at bigfatsnaredrum.com and follow us on all the socials. Just search for Big Fat Snare Drum and you will find us. The show is edited in part using Isotope RX Audio Editor. It's amazing, so go check that out at isotope.com. And thanks again to Gunnar Olsen for the theme music. Bye.